Hey MMA fans, Cage Mind, your host Mika Frankl. It's interview time again today. We're back with another interview covering an amateur fighter. This time we have Andrew Tenneson, who is 4-0. All of his victories via the submission, and he's training out of Jackson's. How you feeling, Andrew?
I'm good, Micah. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How happy and excited are you coming off of that early submission victory that you got?
Well, it's kind of weird. You have this weird high after you win, and then like you come back down and you realize that the next fight's just around the corner probably. So you just try to get back into training, try to stay relaxed, and try to have fun. That's what it's all about, having fun.
Just around the corner. When are you hoping to get back in and have another fight?
I don't know. I'm thinking that I don't know if I should do a grappling competition or try to get a kickboxing fight or just try to get another mixed martial arts fight. I might be coaching some people in Gallup around August too, so I have like a whole bunch of options and I haven't decided what I want to do yet.
Okay. And you're the amateur fighter, so how long have you been training in mixed martial arts for now?
Probably about 5 years. 3 years mixed martial arts and 2 more years than that grappling. So 5 years grappling in all.
So what kind of grappling background did you have? How did that get started?
Well, I was at UNM, and these 3 older guys, one was a judo BJJ guy, one went to Jackson's, and one had a taekwondo background. We basically started a grappling team called Duke City Ronin that's still going on, and it was basically lots of learning from them. The judo guy was also Russian, so he had lots of leg locks, and that's why I like to use them a lot, probably. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was just trying to get better and enjoying it.
And then from that, how did you end up at Jackson's? How did you end up, truly wanting to go forward with this?
Well, it was like always a goal, and eventually when you're rolling in an amateur team, you reach a peak where you need to get past this plateau that you have because your training partners are not as good as you. And even though there are like some really good people that still go to Duke Ronin, some good wrestlers and some good grapplers, I needed like people that were really going to kick my butt every single day. And so I went to sit NHB for like a month, and it was okay. And then I went to Jackson, and that sucked. So I'm still going.
So you found a home there, and then we all know it's one of the most, famous mixed martial arts gyms there is. How's that, and how's the competition level with all the monsters that you guys have in that gym?
It's pretty insane that I'm walking into the place to where the Michael Jordans of the sport train. It's just you're stuck there and you're standing there with Clay Guida and Donald Cerrone and John Jones and Andre Arlovsky, and you're just like, wait, why am I here? I'm just this bum off the street that goes to UNM.
You're not a bum. 4-0 as an amateur, learning quite well, obviously, and definitely a knack for the submissions. Where has that, is it just the grappling training and that makes sense to you that the submissions and hitting the mat come so naturally?
I think it's a lot of, you can drill a lot, and that helps so much. So many people, they go to a grappling class, and it's an hour long, and then they're done. And at Duke City Ronin, we'd be there for like 2 hours, just rolling again and again and again. And so just the repetition, watching tons of videos. I've been watching Sakuraba and Aoki and Imanari for years. So just trying to mimic them and see what they do helps a lot.
Okay, so obviously then you're looking for the leg locks. In your last fight, when you were standing and you dropped from his guard, you went for the leg lock. What is the opening that you see that lets you know that you can get your move off? Or do you just drop for the leg and you have confidence in your technique that you'll get in the right position?
You basically have to use a knee in the butt break to get them to open their legs. And once they open their legs, you drop back. And the way I had my arms, I extended them a little bit, so he probably thought that he could armbar me, so he even opened his legs for me. And then I just go back and I reach the legs. And then once I've reached the leg properly, then it's kind of just, I crank it really quick.
Wow, very quickly. We saw that tap, and the look on his face was pretty painful. So being an amateur, though, I've talked to some professionals, and, there's 12-week camps, and I've talked to some guys on a little lower level than UFC, 8-week camps. As an amateur, how long of a camp are you, directly focusing on your fight for?
The cool thing is I consistently keep up my training. I never stop training, and I never stop trying to get better. And then when I figure out I have a fight, I could have 3 weeks notice, or I get word of it 2 months before, 3 months before that, I'm going to fight probably on this card. And so it's really, there's no camp in my mind, except that my diet will be a little different when I have a fight coming up. But other than that, I just constantly train. I'm always ready.
Okay, and the love of the grappling, the love of the submissions, which one is your favorite submission technique?
Oh, my favorite submission? Oh, no, that's hard. Because I like so much. Oh, man, I can't tell you. I love them all. They're so cool. I love leg locks, of course, but I also love chokes and some complicated rubber guard stuff, but I mean, the simpler the better. The simpler the better. So, straight arm bar probably. Triangle choke. Bam. That's it. That's
okay. All right. So with the 4-0 record, what are you seeing for your future right now? How many more times are you thinking that you would like to compete as an amateur before making that jump to pro?
It's a hard decision because you can be told by everyone that you're good enough to go pro right now, and some people have told me that. But then when I train with people that are pro, like Hunter Tucker, or I train with great strikers like John Stark, and I feel completely like, wow, I need to continue to work on this. I feel like an amateur still compared to them. Then it's just really hard to see yourself getting paid to do something, especially something that you like doing so much.
Right, and how much is that love of it, the driving force that keeps you going to that gym every day, puts in that sweat, makes the dieting easier? Is that what it is?
That's 99% of it. If I didn't like what I was doing, and I didn't have this amazing balance between a mental and physical workout, and also a place where no matter how hard I work, I always see results. If I didn't have that, I probably wouldn't be doing it.
So being an amateur fighter, having that other time and not getting paid for it, what are you doing with the rest of your time?
Playing too many video games. My wife and I have a blog called Pancake Landing, and I write some political opinions, some mixed martial arts news on there. So that's pretty fun. I just finished the UNM, so I'm probably going to have to try and figure out if I'm going to go to law school or maybe join the State Department.
See, and you got to love mixed martial arts when you hear guys that are able to come up with that answer, and it's just not the normal. You have the intelligent guys, and then you also have people that are just, fighters. But mixed martial arts is special in this way, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, some people, they really just like the fight. And if they weren't fighting mixed martial arts, they'd be brawling in a bar somewhere, But then there are other people that are just really nice people. Like one of the greatest people that I've met is Travis Mark. Now, if you've seen him fight, he's a beast. And you've seen him at circles when he has a fight coming up, he's like dropping training partners with knees to the gut and stuff. But when you talk to him, he remembers your name. You actually get this idea, this feeling that he really cares how you're doing that day when he asks, how are you? And it's just completely the opposite of what you'd expect from a guy that's training to destroy people.
All right. And then yesterday I had done an interview with one of your training partners that you've mentioned, with John Sparks. And he said, you got to tell us about your spinning heel kick.
Well, he was beating me up one day, okay? And so I threw a spinning heel kick and I kicked him in the tailbone one day. And I felt really bad about it. But it's a fun kick. I've watched a lot of OK1 fights, and Andy Hughes used to throw it a lot to the leg, but somehow I always missed and I always hit something else. he's just way better than me. So I have to keep practicing it so I can be like Andy Hughes or like Kung Lee, because it's probably my favorite kick. The hook kick is my favorite kick. That's an easy question to answer. My favorite strike.
Okay. But was there any kind of joking moment after that, no matter who got the best at sparring, where you looked at me and you're like, hey dude, I kicked your butt?
It was like, I almost kicked his butt because I couldn't find a bone. But yeah, I mean, I felt so bad, and then he's like joking about it, and then I'm like, crap, but I hurt you, I'm so sorry, because there's nothing worse than hurting a training partner, especially when it's you getting frustrated, and then you really feel like a jerk, and that's the reason why you hurt him, and you're like, crap. But if we had a kickboxing fight, John Sparks and I, it would be very one-sided, and I'd be destroyed. So I was kicking butt in my fight when it came to the striking I felt, and part of it is because I felt so comfortable with Sandy Silva because I was already sparring with John Sparks all the time. So I have to give it up to him for helping me so much.
So as you keep being hard on your striking, where do you feel you've come within these 4 fights?
How far do I think I've come working on my striking in the past 4 fights? Well, it's gotten better. It needs a lot of work. This is the first fight that I really felt I was in the zone kind of with the striking. I was landing punches. I was able to get clinches and get knees off. So it felt really good. But it just needs a lot of work. There's so many good boxers and kickboxers at Jackson's that I just feel you get frustrated sometimes because you're like, wow, this guy's kicking my butt. And again, you don't know why they're kicking your butt. And that is like, if you get your butt to grappling, you can most of the time figure out why right away. But with striking, it's a little different.
Okay. And how are your little nuances with the striking do you feel progressing? With the feet movement, the head movement? How do you feel you're progressing in that area?
The hardest thing for me is lateral movement. I mean, it's just a little weird because I love to run straight in, punching, kicking, whatever. But you really need to cut that angle. When you cut the angle and flank them, basically, they can't hurt you, but you can hurt them all you want. And keeping the head moving, not ducking your head, and eating an uppercut, those are things that it's like really hard to work on.
Will you look to be improving, gaining each time? We saw you this time at the Jackson's MMA series. We had talked about the fight. What was it like with your family, your wife, the home state? How was that, the atmosphere and all that energy that you had that night?
It was great. I had so many people from Disney Ronin, the group that still meets at UNM, and so many people from Jackson because it was the Jackson card. And I was so honored to fight for Jackson. This is actually the first fight that I was able to fight with Jackson as my teammate. And it just like Ricky Conistat and the other people there, they believed in me enough to say, hey, this guy represents us. And that's huge. So having all the fans and supporters there, I mean, if it wasn't for them, if I didn't love mixed martial arts, I wouldn't train. But if it wasn't for all their support, I wouldn't fight. So it's 2 different things there.
Okay, then one last thing. Have you got a nickname yet? Any kind of nickname thought up yet? Because you come from a camp full of great nicknames.
I know. You got Cowboy and... Oh, man. I probably would want something samurai-ish, right? But all the good ones are taken, like Carlos Newman has Ronin, and then Shogun Hura, and Ninja Hura, and Shaolin Rivero. I mean, all the cool Japanese nicknames are all taken already. So I'll probably choose something like my friend Reagan Wood, B.B. Wood. He calls me Lord Tennyson because of the poet, and then my other friend John Bindle, he calls me Wandering Student or something. So I have to figure out what nickname I want to stick.
And tonight, actually, on FX, we got 3 Jackson's team members fighting, or 2, I think, actually, tonight. 3. Leonard Garcia, Henry Martinez, and Buddy Roberts. You think everyone's going to be successful?
Henry Martinez, when I saw that guy, I am scared. I am very, very scared. So I don't see how, and he has amazing, and when we talked about it like he's a striker, but Well, amazing jiu-jitsu. I think he has like a brown belt from 10th Planet, and he's training at the Santa Fe 10th Planet. He trained with Grappling before, so he's an amazing fighter, and he's the one I know most about. Leonard has been working on his striking even more, working on his ground game. I roll with him. So I think they're all going to be good. And Buddy Roberts is like a beast. So I don't even want to know what's going to happen to the guy that fights him. That's scary.
We look forward to watching it. We look forward to seeing more from you, watching you grow. If there's anyone that you wanted to shout out to or thank right now, go for that.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone at Sioux City Roman. I want to thank my wife. I want to thank Nick Gonzalez, Ray Martinez, Reagan Wood, John Mindel, John Dodson, my cornerman, and my other cornerman and striking coach, Brandon Gibson. He's the greatest mitt holder that I've ever had hold next to me, and he's helped me so much with my hands, and that's what really came in for my fight. So thank you, everybody. And if I forgot you or didn't mention you, it doesn't mean that I don't love and appreciate you guys. You guys are amazing. Thank you.
I'd like to thank you for taking the time to give us the interview. And everyone out there, remember to be watching out for Andrew Tenneson. He's 4-0 as an amateur. He's improving all the time, and watch out for his submissions.
Thank you so much, man. Cage Mind, guys. Cage Mind.
Cage Minds. Check out the news, the interviews, predictions, and result shows from us. Support your local MMA scene. This has been Cage Minds. Uncage the warrior within yourself. Thanks for watching.